Hey, in this video we will work on the edit and the complete case. So just to refresh your memory, let me show you how these two commands work currently. So first let me just see the list of to-dos and then enter edit as a command. So as soon as we press edit, the program asks us to enter a to-do. So that is the equivalent of this. This line here produces that output. Now, once we enter here a number, for example, if we want to edit number 3, we enter 3 here. So when we enter 3, our program subtracts 1 from 3 because list indexing starts from 0. So if we enter 3 as a user, actually we meant to say 2, the item with index 2, because this has an index of 0, this has an index of 1, this has an index of 2, so play has an index of 2. Therefore we get 2 here. Then what we do is we get a new to-do from the user. So here we go, enter a new to-do, play a game, press enter, and once we entered play a game here, so play a game is part of new to-do, and then we change in the list. So we changed the item with index 2 to that new item. So play will be replaced with play a game. Now if we exit the program, exit, press enter, and then we check to-dos. So if you want to refresh it, reload from disk, no changes are written in the file. Why? Well, because we didn't write any files here, we didn't handle any files. So let's fix that in this video. Now you know that you can use the with context manager, but what exactly do you do here? Do you read or do you edit the file? Well, you do both. First, you want to open the file in read mode. So once you get the number from the user and you subtract 1 from that number, then somewhere here perhaps you want to get the existing list of to-do items. So in here I would get that with context manager and just copy it here. So that will give us the to-dos in a list, the existing to-dos in a list, and then we get the new to-dos here, and then we replace the new to-do in the list. So at this point the list should have been modified. I can prove that to you by checking with a print function. To-dos. Let me add some extra information. Here is to-dos, existing to-dos, and then another function after we modify that to-do list, print. Here is how it will be, and again we print out the to-dos variable and run the program, edit. So we wanted to edit number 3, and so once I press 3, which corresponds to this line here, then we get printed out this line, and then we enter a new to-do, play the game, press enter, and here is the new list. So play the game is now part of the list. But you see that it's missing a \n. So let's add a \n here. So we want to replace the existing to-do with new to-do plus \n. And then we need to do something with that list, so we need to write that list back to the file. For that we need the write with context manager. So I'm copying that and putting it here at the end. So just before the case complete line, we put that, and perhaps we don't need these lines anymore. So I'll remove that and this print function as well. And that's about the edit case. So I'll run this again. Show, we have these. Edit, let's try number 4. So that is fix. Fix it well. Show. And there we go. Fix it well is now number 4. Exit. Check to make sure in the file. Yeah, fix it well is here, so it's working. And let's also implement the complete case, because this is also not connected to our file. So we get the input from the user, that's the index. We remove that index from the list, but we want to get the current list from the file again. So again, we need this 2 lines. So we get the current list, we remove the item with that index from the list, and then we write the list back to the file using that code. So paste it here and let's run. So let's see what we have. Right, then say complete. Which one do you want to complete? 3. Press enter. Show. So play is not there anymore. And let's exit and go to to-dos. And your play has disappeared. If you want to make this complete commands more user-friendly, perhaps you may want to show a message to the user. So I'll write a message f-string, construct an f-string here, and say to do. So we want to tell the user that this to do was removed from the list. So which is the to do? Well, the removed to do, we can get it using list indexing. So we get the number here, the index from the user, and then we get the lists. And before we're removing that to do from the list, we want to access it, to store it in a variable. Removed to do, or you can say to do to remove, because removed to do doesn't make so much sense here, since it has not been removed at this point from the list. Here it is removed actually. So let's say to do to remove is equal to do's number -1. Or you could also say create a new variable here, index is equal to number -1, so that you don't have to perform this operation 2 times in the code. You just perform it once here, and then you replace this to that variable, and also this to that variable. So that's the beauty of variables. And that will give us the to do to remove, which was play in our case, and then we place that to do in here. And that should do it. So let's run this again. Complete, or let's show first, and then complete. Let's try number 2, shower. We didn't get any output because I forgot to print out the message. So print message, run again, show, complete. So the to-do was completed, but it was not printed out. Complete number 2, and so we get this to-do fix it well was removed from the list. Now you see this break line here. If you want to remove that break line, you want to go back in here and say todos.index dot strip, and then goes \n. So does this make sense to you? Well, the idea is that this is a string, right? So the situation here is like this. We have a list to-dos, you know, item 1, item 2, and so on. So to-dos 1.strip, what you're doing is actually applying the strip method to that string. So that was, just to be clear, you understand this, and that's the final code. So let me run it for one more time. Show complete, we want to complete number 2 this time, and we get this message: to do right was removed from the list. So that message is printed out correctly. And that finishes this video. Thanks a lot for following. I'll see you later.